Yeah. You know what it is. Fourth Quarter Boyz Sports. Back in the building. I am your illustrious host, Professor Lake. Today, some of the Chicago Bears have come out of hibernation. Did a couple of interviews at Olivet Nazarene University, Bourbonnais. So today we hear from Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, Kyle Fuller, Mitch Trubisky, Allen Robinson, and Akeim Hicks. So I'm going to give you guys my takeaways from today's interviews. You know, just thinking about expectations, the looming Roquan Smith contract that has yet to be signed. Before we get into this, let's do this real quick. Fourth Quarter Boyz Sports. I'm your illustrious host, Professor Lake. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Get on the team. Hit that notification bell. Be a fourth quarter boy for life. Let's get into it. So Matt Nagy talks a little bit about the offense bonding and creating an identity for themselves as an offense and a team, which is very important. When you hear the words creating an identity or identity, you're talking about bread and butter plays that utilizes your weapons and their athletic strengths, just as go-to plays. Again, he reiterates, the importance of building camaraderie and friendships during these two-a-days. During the practices, you're going to start seeing some of these guys rising to the occasion. You're going to understand different players' abilities. And, during this time, this is when defenses and offenses build trust with the guys that they're playing with. He also, just a sidebar, wanted to thank the Bill Walsh Minority Coaching Internship because, they got 6 coaches doing some interning with the Chicago Bears during these two-a-days. So big shout out to Bill Walsh and the Minority Coaching Program. One of the first questions asked to Ryan Pace, he had to address the situation with the Roquan Smith contract. You really can never really tell, what either side is pulling for, but it sounds like it has something to do with the language of the contract and, maybe guaranteed money more than likely. He says that he's optimistic about the contract being done soon, so he'll be ready for the season. He also adds that it is important for Roquan Smith to be there as soon as possible. So I really think that they're trying to get a deal done ASAP. He also was asked about some of the veteran Bears that have 1 year left on their contract. He says they're handling it in-house. So, my prediction is that Adrian Amos, just seeing how he does the first 5 games, will probably get a contract extension, some bonus money, and more than likely, Eddie Goldman may get the same, just depending on his performance. Ryan Pace was also asked to describe Matt Nagy's offense. He says that the offense is creative when you look at it, and it uses all the players' strengths and athletic ability to their advantage. I think the scheme is just a lot better than it was last year, and I guess you'll hear me say that a lot until we start seeing Bears actually using the offense in season. And he also says that the players are having fun in the offense. All the arrows are pointing up. Even Mitch Trubisky discusses a little bit about where he was last year compared to this year. Matt Nagy was asked about Mitchell Trubisky's development thus far coming into training camp. He says he's driven, focused, he's being a great teammate, and he's stepping up into this leadership role. Also, he's playing fast. He's calling plays a lot easier. Matt Nagy has also said that during OTAs, Mitchell Trubisky was at the 101 level of understanding the offense and executing, and now he's moving on to the 202 level. So I think that's a good sign for our offense. Matt Nagy also said that this is going to be a physical camp. He wants players to play physical during the season. He believes that it starts during the training camp. So he said there will be some sessions where the players are expected to be physical. And I like that as well. Ryan Pace agrees with him, saying that the players do need to be calloused for the season. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing a tough defense, a physical offensive line, physical blocking by wide receivers, physical running by the running backs, and of course physical play by the defense in any way that you could talk about that. Good news, there's no players on the physically unable to perform list. So everybody's able to start off with Matt Nagy with a fresh slate. Everybody should be performing, passing physicals. So this is a perfect segue into talking about Mitchell Trubisky and his expectations and his thoughts coming into training camp during his second season. He says he's ready to work. He respects all of his offensive coaches. They add a lot of creativity to the offense, but this is Matt Nagy's offense. He's becoming more familiar with Matt Nagy's system. He says he's learning every day. He's getting more responsibility and he's more comfortable with his leadership role. Mitchell Trubisky was asked about Allen Robinson as well, and he's saying that Allen Robinson is coming back to true form. He said he's looked at a lot of his tape to get an idea of what he could do, and he's impressed. And I think that Mitchell Trubisky can't wait to have a wide receiver like Allen Robinson on his team. I think he's really looking forward to throwing the ball to him and getting some nice yards every game. Mitch Trubisky slipped into talking about comparing coaching philosophies from last year and this year. And, one of the most important things he said about it was that out of everything that he did last year, he feels that, what he's learned in the short time with Matt Nagy, he is way more advanced as a quarterback. So, man, this is really exciting if he can understand his growth over the last 5 or 6 months working with Matt Nagy, trying to get into a system that utilizes the strengths of his weapons and manipulating defenses. I can't help but crack a smile when I think about that statement right there. He also says that he's understanding defenses a lot better and he's playing faster. And that's one of the things that I always talk about when I do a film session or I talk about players. Kind of tied into the football IQ, being able to understand what defenses are trying to do to you. Mitchell Trubisky seemed like he had a little edge to him as well. He's kind of tired of the off-season talk. And I think he's really ready to get to work. He's tired of being compared to Carson Wentz, Deshaun Watson, Kaiser, and these different quarterbacks. He's ready to get out on the field. I think he's excited about Matt Nagy's system. He just wants to show what he can do and have an identity of his own. Akeim Hicks says that he's happy about the offensive upgrade. He looks at it as an advantage. Akeim says that, if the offense can stay on the field and put together a 7 or 8 play drive and put some points on the board, maybe they can have more 3 and outs. So, he definitely appreciates these new free agents brought onto the team to help out their offense. He also says as far as defensive goals, he just wants to get better. They want to see themselves in the top 5 defenses in the league next season. And, that's a pretty good goal. And I think that they could do it. Allen Robinson said he's 100%. He's ready to go. He appreciates the game a lot more since he had to sit out damn near an entire season. But he's getting back into playing form, building trust with Mitch Trubisky is something that he's really doing. The more he gets out on the field, he's going to build more trust with Mitchell Trubisky and being on the same page with each other. Again, I seen him say this when he first was signed by the Bears, but he really wants to help Mitchell Trubisky out as a wide receiver more than Mitch helping him out as a quarterback. So listening to these guys come out of hibernation, giving us a sneak peek on their thoughts, coming into training camp, man, I'm really excited. I'm pumped up right now. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the battles for the starting positions that are out there. I'm looking forward to Roquan Smith signing the contract and coming on in and letting Chicago get back these linebackers that play great. Come on in, man. Come on in. You're going to have a long career here. Again, a lot was discussed when it comes to this offense because I think this is an area where we made the most improvement on paper and everybody wants to see what the Chicago Bears could do on the field. It seems as though we got the talent, definitely got 2 running backs that are talented as well, and we got an up-and-coming quarterback that when you hear him talk and you hear what other people say about him, you can't help but be excited about his new life, his new offense, his new coach, his new wide receivers, and everything that he could do in this system. Defensively, I look for more of the same. I definitely think they could reach the goal of becoming a top 5 defense, especially with the addition of Roquan Smith. I see them being a lot better at stopping the run, but his specialty is in coverage as well, and I think that's going to be a really big strength for the Bears, with a lot of these athletic tight ends that you can split out wide, put in the slot. I think we're really going to need Roquan Smith to play at his best and show us what a number 8 overall pick linebacker looks like. And I think he will do that, So with that in mind, you know what time it is. Fourth Quarter Boy Sports. I am your illustrious host, Professor Lake. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Be a Fourth Quarter Boy for life. Hit that notification bell. I'm out.